Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. I'm Smart Conserver. I say two thumbs up. Don't Chaser, you're in the chat. All right, for those who are here or those who are coming in late, our topic will be the frustration of those highlight bills and what can be done. Please give your thumbs up for those who are just coming in. All right, we just ended month end. We just ended month end, and the bills were already, or you already received those bills. So it's now time to pay. Hi, Bruno. I'm fine. How are you? For those of us who have those bills, it's no time to pay. And I can just imagine the frustration that you, when you saw those bills, I know I was. Um, Even though I'm grid tied, this month's bill really rocked me. And I think it did, especially for the fact that my consumption was very low, very, very, very low. And nevertheless, I had incurred a bill that I never, I never thought that I would have received, especially seeing as to how my consumption is low. It really shook me. However, such is life. We have to get over it. However, it only means that my mind now start working overtime to, I don't even want to say eliminate them, but I'm working at it. All right. Now, the first step to any bill is to understand it. So I think it's best if we try and understand the bills that we receive first. So if we're to look on our light bills, we see a lot of different entries on it. We have our deposits are sometimes placed on it, and these are the deposit that we may have given to the power company long ago, quite a number of years ago, as well as it might be those who are just coming on the system. They decide to give their money, and this amount of money is held as deposit, and it is shown on your bill each month. We have the date. We have the date of the actual reading. We have the start date, the end date. We have the reading, the previous reading, and we have the current reading. Now, like for me, I was honestly hurt because when I looked on my bill, and I'm not looking on it in terms of what it is that I do owe. I'm looking on it as the at the on the angle of the charges that I was given. Now, the charges that I was given had only $700 for my consumption. However, I received a bill for 5,000 odd dollars, and my consumption was a $700 bill, right? $5,188.13 to be exact. So it really rocked me for that amount of money, seeing where my consumption was. Now, my billing cycle, they said that it was 60, and the number of days that I was being billed for was 31. I was not comparing a 31-day period with another 31-day period. I was just looking on my consumption. So bear that in mind. Only consumption. Hi, Beetle. So I was honestly looking on my consumption, and I was really, really upset with it. Now, the fact that I'm grid tied, I receive two readings. So I would receive a reading for what I use, and I would receive a reading for what I sell. And ironically, I sell more than I used for that month. And that was where the hurt honestly came in. All right. I'm going to show you in a short while. No, they took off some form of discount off it, and it was because of the exchange rate. They had previously calculated it for $155 as the base rate. However, it was adjusted down to 100 and $153.71. So you make a small margin there. And because my consumption was low, I didn't get anything much. Um, Bruno is saying high energy here in Brazil is no different. We do our best to save money, but the feeling is that not much changes. Well, I intend to make a change, Bruno. Um, I honestly do intend to make a change if it's only for myself. I really do intend to make this change because I'm honestly pissed at what my bill was, seeing that my consumption was that low. So I honestly I don't know what we're going to do as a nation or even individuals in this world where we feel that the more we conserve, it is harder to even save that dollar. But we have to try, and I intend to. Um, so looking on the bill that I received, I had used up only 96.34. Yes, and that's kilowatt hours. I could have reduced it. It could have been reduced probably if I had put in more stringent methods, but reducing it would only probably take off a $500 when I look back at it because it's not a high consumption. It's not a high consumption, and I'm receiving this bill. And I wish you people out there are from the power company because I am pissed. All right. No, strangely, the rate that I got for that amount of consumption was only $7.93. So that's what I paid for that amount of consumption that I had, the $7.93. And it brought my total charges to $763.98. On a second tier, the second tier of the bill, the second tier of the bill, the second tier of the bill had the amount that I would have sold. Beta is saying we have to take care of nature and the planet. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. However, they need to take care of us too. Bruno is saying that people unfortunately do not seek to be conscientious and save. A good part makes an effort. I agree with you. I do agree with you. But sometimes it's rather frustrating to know that we're trying to do what we have to do, and whosoever it is whosoever it is not doing their part to make sure that we pay less. Whosoever it is, they're not doing their part. They're just billing us. And that's the saddest part about it. All right. The second part of my bill had the kilowatts per hour that I sold back. So it had the words KWHE, and that was what I sold back. So while I used 96.34, then I sold to them 135.53. and the cost of that was further down that they gave me the amount of money for. Yes, I did not end up paying this $5,000, but this $5,000 is the bone of contention for me for the last bill. I wish there was somebody I could call about it, but the charges that I got was fuel for me was $2,649.25, while the IPP variable charges was $1,208.10. And all of that combined made up the $5,188.13. So it was at that point that I honestly was hurt. Storm Chaser is saying that the oil that they sell us, that is what causes the problem and the charges that they apply to it. I agree with you. And it the reason why I'm especially upset too is we have the sun. Why is it that we're purchasing so much oil? We have the sun, so we need to make use of it. We honestly need to make use of it, and we're not making use of the sun. So you're going to buy oil to sell me. And then what about the electricity that I sold you? Who you sell it to and at what price? Is it that you're going to sell it to them at the oil price? That's not fair because my one was derived from the sun. It's not right. It's honestly not right. No, before I show you the bill, I'm going to talk about the different aspects of the bill. No, the first thing on the bill was the rate schedule or the tariff schedule, and this in itself provide details as to the rate that they use to calculate the electricity bill, and that is determined by a rate schedule. Strangely enough, my power company does not determine this rate schedule. It is determined by an external entity. We have a regulator who determine that, and that's why we ended up in this. So they determine what their rate is, what the rate is that I should be paying. Beta is saying that as electricity bills are expensive, many residents and companies are using solar energy. Yes, I'm using it too, and I'm paying. I am paying. While they are, all right. No, the other part of it is the excessively. The other part of it is the reading type. Now, for us, the reading type can be two. Is either they come and read it or they don't read it. Now, if they come and read it, it means that you're going to get an actual bill. And if they don't come and read it, it means you're going to get an estimate. Now, they're not supposed to give you more than 3 estimates. And giving you 3 estimates, giving you those 3 estimates, it means that you can go in and complain. Or if they give you more than 3 estimates, you can go in and complain and get back. I think there's a, I know that there's a charge that they will be charged and they will have to pay you something. So they will have to pay you something. Storm is saying the other problem is the OUR. In in all honesty, though, Storm, I don't think I want to put the blame on them totally, because this thing was signed way before that regulatory body came in. The government signed to all of this, and it's just that whatever it is that the OUR they're doing is mandatory. It honestly is mandatory. Um, Storm Bruno say you're absolutely right. it's mandatory, and because it's mandatory, it means somebody's hands are tied. However, it is sad that we are seen in this country as a cash cow. We need to break from this. All right, so like I said, the reading type is either actual or estimate. So if the man should stay out there and read your meter, you get an actual bill. And if he doesn't, then you're going to get an estimate. Now, the remember I told you that on my bill I have kilowatt per hour. Now, the kilowatt per hour is what I consume for the entire month. What I consume for the entire month, that is recognized as a kilowatt per hour. And the kilowatt electric, which is the other line item that I was telling you about, it is all energy form that are converted to their electrical energy equivalent. So in terms of, for me, I know it's my solar panels, it converts energy and it is sold back to them. So that is what is denoted by my KWHE, right? By my KWHE. Then there's this thing now that they call the customer charge. Hmm. Hmm. The customer charge is it's a fixed monthly charge. And this fixed monthly charge, I say it is used to cover meters and the meter maintenance and the bill delivery. Well, them can take off something because they don't deliver bills here. Bito is saying that some countries change the prices and it depends a lot on the rulers. Yes, yes, Bito, I agree with you. Yes, I honestly agree with you, and I think that is what is happening to us here, where because these things are already agreed upon by the government, we have this sole entity that sells us electricity, and because all of this was agreed way before when, then that is what is reaching us. That is what is reaching us. So like I said, the customer charge is a fixed rate, and the claim that it is used for the meters, the cost of the meter that I have out there, whatever maintenance, and for me even receiving a bill, as well as other costs. Now, I remember telling you guys that fixed cost cannot be changed. It remains fixed over the lifetime of the period. Now, if my power company has a fixed cost of say $50, and there is 50 of us on this grid, it means that the fixed cost has to be shared for all 50 of us. So each person is required to pay $1 each. Strangely though, if persons come off the grid, like say 25 of them come off the grid, the fixed cost is always going to be that $50. And if the fixed cost is $50, it means that the other persons who are on the grid, they will have to pay that $50. They will have to combine together to pay that $50. Beta is saying that droughts and low water levels help a lot to increase the electricity and water bills. Yes, it does. However, in my country, we don't have water producing electricity for us. We have we use fuel, and we also have solar and wind turbines producing our form of electricity. The water one would be mostly for the bigger countries. It's not applicable here. So it's really not applicable here. Bruno is saying here in Brazil they want to charge us even for sunlight. It's terrible. They're only thinking about their own pockets. Um, I'm interested in that, Bruno. I am. I am interested in charge in them charging you for sunlight. I'm really interested in that because I want to know how they're going to do that. Is it that they have the panels and they sell it to you or rent it to you? Is that it? But that seemed to be a very interesting topic. All right. Another thing is for us the energy rate, and the energy rate is a non-fuel charge, and this is a rate that when you look on it, it would be the cost that I would pay for each kilowatt that I consume. Yeah, each kilowatt that I consume, I'm that's what my energy charge is for. The other part of the bill now is the fuel charge, and that in itself is my killer. That is my killer, the fuel charge. And they say that this covers the cost of the fuel required to produce and deliver each kilowatt per hour of electricity. They say what you pay for fuel is based on the cost of oil and gas used to generate electricity for use. This cost will change from one month to the next, depending on the cost of fuel the power company purchases from suppliers. My power company, they buy oil from Petrojam and natural gases from Fortress Energy. The problem that we're having, especially now, is that oil prices are fluctuating, and it's because of the war. We don't have oil here, so anything they give us, the any price they give us for, we either have to take it or leave it. And I think at one point I heard that we are fixed in to a certain price. And being fixed into a certain price, it would mean that if the price for this oil or gas goes down and we're paying a higher price, we're still going to pay that higher price. But that's it. It's really dependent on the cost that they charge us for the fuel. And the fuel one is my it's it's my burden to bear. All right, then we have now the IPP charge. And this IPP charge is a charge for electricity that my power company buys from other companies and they sell to the customers. So these electricity generating companies that are out there, they are called independent power producers. I wonder though if they would call me an independent power producer, the fact that they are buying electricity from me. I am not sure if they would classify me as one, but they do buy electricity from me. Mind you, if they buy electricity from the other persons, the same price that they buy electricity from me for, I don't think I would sell them it because they buy cheap. They do buy cheap. Well, what is a storm? They would classify me as an IPP. Okay. All right. Then there is now the demand charge, and the demand charge is designed to cover the costs related to generating capacity that the power company has to put in place to maintain and serve the maximum peak requirements for each customer. Now, the requirement that I would have had would vary between persons and persons. But a small supplier, I would be a small supplier. I agree. I agree. But then there's a saying that one cocoa full basket. So even though I'm a small supplier, it honestly means that my own should, while it wouldn't make that big of an impact, it should make an impact. Because they're getting it. They are getting it. So they should pay more. They honestly should pay more. I do want more, but like I said, it's regulated. Now Beta is saying that the way you have to turn off some devices from the socket. Yeah, that's a way to conserve. However, conservation of that, it I am conserving, and I'm incurring the cost, and it may be because we're in the process of facing a utility debt spiral why I'm paying this huge cost. But I'm honestly now set. I have to get my power consumers off the grid. If I get them off the grid, then I'm game, I'm fine. Um, the fifth person, could you please press the thumbs up? Storm Chaser is asking, your light bill is small compared to mine. I'm not there as yet. Um, Storm, I'm honestly sorry that your light bill is higher than mine. Honestly, however, I'm just thinking of the effect that this is really having on me. While mine is small, it's a shock factor for me where I am consuming this, but I am paying this. It's a huge gap, and I could have paid my light bill out of whatever it is that they were charging me, about seven, probably 8 times, probably 8 times. Bruno is saying charge a light of the sun. Yeah, I do that. Is forced by expression, my friend. It is what the it is that at the end of it all, the energy for ordinary people remains the same. Hope this can change soon. I hope to. Um, Storm Chaser is saying that his light bill keeps going up and down. Is it the consumption, or what are you looking on? Are you looking on the consumption, or are you looking on the money value? Because we can't look on the money value alone. We have to look on the consumption. Because when I saw my light bill, the first thing I checked, well, you would have received the figure. When I saw the figure, I was asking, what happened? What went wrong this month? However, when I looked on my consumption, it was far less than the other months, and I didn't pay this last month. Last month, my consumption was a little higher. Well, I guess it's a gas. I guess it's a gas. However, I'm determined. I'm not going to stay on this. I can't stay on this, because if I stay on this, they're going to get more money than I could even afford. I'm not going to stay on this. So, Storm, I would encourage you to jump the ship as well. All right. Then there's a foreign exchange adjustment that is on the bill. And I remember telling you that the base rate for me for last month, and it would be for you once you're living in the country. So the base rate for me for this month was $155, and it was adjusted to $153. So all I got off it was probably, how much I got? I got $8.92. That's not a saving. That's not a saving. And at $8.92, that's not even that's not even $10. Yes, it's closer to $10, but that's not a saving. That's not a discount. I assume that the persons who consumed more would have gotten more. However, probably God bless what them get. Probably them don't even get a $50. Probably don't even get a $50. So it's really frustrating. All right, I'm going to show you the bill, and I'm going to explain to you the different aspect of the excerpt of the bill that I have extracted. I took out a piece of it because the other part had the net billing on it. So I'll show you. You can tell me if you can see, please. No. The thing is, I told you that my billing cycle was 60 and the number of days was 31. So my bill was a 31 days cycle. And the billing rate was $153.71, with the base rate being $155. And that's where the $8 came in. My deposit at the time was 1,500. I know it has drastically um, increased now. No, this is what I'm showing you. If you look on the kilowatt per hour, it was an actual reading, and the actual reading meant that I only consumed 96.3 something, and the rate that they charged me was $7 and some cent, bringing my bill to $760. However, on the flip side, I sold electricity to them, and I sold 135 kilowatt hours to them. Now, if I was on a, what do they call that? If I was on a, I'm currently on net billing, but if I was on the other one, if I was on net metering, what would have happened is they would have offset what I use against what I sold. So it would mean that they would still owe me. When you look at it, it would probably be about 40 something kilowatts that they would have owed me. But my country don't do net metering. They do net billing. And what would have happened with net metering is that the difference of 40 would have carried over to another month. So it would have continued carrying over. Now, when I look on the customer charge, now the customer charge was the one that I told you was the fixed rate. The customer charge here was only 500 and something dollars. And at the 500 and something dollars, it means whether or not I use the electricity, that's a cost that I would have to personally pay. I could not have gotten out of that. It would still have to be paid. Then there is when they add the customer charge now to whatever it is that they bill me for based on what I consume, my bill would have actually been 1,300 and $1,339.70. That would be my bill. However, they adjusted it by the foreign exchange adjustment. Remember, we're moving from 153, no, we're moving from 155 that they would have charged a bill on, and they adjusted it to 153.71 cents. So it means that a percentage of that made my bill was reduced by $8.92, and it's not a lot. So the fuel charge, on the other hand, that was a killer. Um, Take it easy, my friend. Soon you'll be able to get there and have a good economy. You hear that, Storm? Bruno is encouraging you. No, the fuel charge was my killer. If I'm paying, if you're charging me that $7, it means now that $27.49 on each kilowatt hour that I consume is charged as fuel. And this is it. 2,600 and odd. And that's what I'm paying for fuel. It is two times the amount of my electricity. And then the IPP charges, I was charged $12.54 on what I consumed, leaving it to $1,208.10. And when they added up all of that, my total bill ended up to be $5,188.13. Yes, I know that my bill is way below some person's own. However, I am still honestly upset over it, and I am thinking that it should be less. Fuel is way too much. It's way too much. Yes, Beta, our normal voltage, it's actually not 127 volt. Our normal voltage here is 110, and for some devices we use 220. So like in this house there is 110 and there's 220 coming in, because my solar panels use 220, so the 220 has to be connected there, and the 110 they're in my plugs. If I was to buy a air condition, then I would have to extend that 220 to accommodate the air condition unit. Storm Chaser is saying, I went to the power company this week, and I'm telling you, the bill rocked from $10,000 up, and people are crying. Storm, you see, sometimes I listen. I will listen to a complaint when it comes on to the electricity bills. However, sometimes that's all I do. I just listen. I don't have an input. Why? Is because Jamaicans, they only know about conservation when the bill hits. So when they start to cry, that's conservation there. And then you will hear some person say, but I didn't use, I only have. So they only have probably one TV, they only have one fridge, and the one TV that they have, it's not plugged in. They have a world of excuse. And sometimes when you really check it out, they did use this electricity. Because like I said, for me, I know I I could have tightened up some more where the 96.34 is concerned. I could have, but I didn't. I didn't. So I'm while I'm satisfied with my power consumption, I'm not satisfied with the dollar value that I'm paying. So I don't really listen to certain cries. I will listen to them complain. However, I have nothing to say, because you have some persons, they don't want the information as to how they can be helped. I don't know if it has ever happened to you, but you have some very stubborn people out there. And when you approach them, that's when all hell breaks loose. It's rather easier to approach persons though when you have the light bill. So if they get the light bill, it's easy to approach them at that point because the frustration is there. It is there. However, after the bill is paid, the frustration leaves. It's no longer there. Stormy is saying that's what I did. I said nothing because mine is lower. I agree with you. Don't say. Just listen, because sometimes people need the avenue to vent. So allow them to vent. I vent too. I do vent. However, once I cool down, I'm fine. Hi, Sizzling Art. Thank you for joining my live. Can you please remember to press the thumbs up button? So persons will get upset when the bill is to be paid. However, after the bill is paid, they're fine, they're game, they're okay. Sizzling Art, I'm fine. How are you? I'm actually great. I tend to tell people that I'm great. I Yes, I'm fine. Yes. Yes, I'm fine. Thanks. And you are? You're fine too. Um, yes, please. I haven't met you as yet, so I hope I can say the same thing when that time comes up. And thank you. And please remember to press the like button. Vito is telling you, please press the like button. Um, Storm Chaser is saying that he doesn't want them to curse him. Storm, I've reached a stage in my life where I'm now looking out for persons who really want the help. If they don't want the help, and thank you for that, Rose Sizzling Art. If they don't want the help, then I don't help. However, my help, it stops here. It stops here. It not going any further. Because what I find is that some persons want it to repeat, repeat, repeat. I don't have that time. I honestly don't have that time. And if I feel that, I have told you before, I have friends. I honestly have friends who have I highlight bill, and they do complain, and I don't say anything. Worse, if I know that they're a part of the channel, I don't say anything because it only means that they don't watch. They don't watch. So because you don't watch, I'm not going to waste my time because I have it recorded. I have it recorded, so all you have to do is go back and look. I'm not going to waste my time on that. I don't have that time. No, while we do get the highlight bill, there are things that we need to do in order to reduce it. Yes, reduction at times might be frustrating. However, we have to persevere. We have to try. If we try, we have sun here 90% of the time. And like no, this today we had a lot of sun. It wasn't hot. We weren't hot today. As a matter of fact, the only time that we face that form of heat is in the summer. It wasn't hot. However, with the sun, I think we can utilize it as a people, even if they don't want to help us. Utilize it as a people. Look on the power banks. Power banks now are being made to facilitate the sun. We can use the sun to charge it. So possibly if you don't want to use the electricity to charge this power, to charge your cell phone, your laptop, be it what it may, buy a solar power bank. Buy one. Like I said, I have this goal now in sight where by this year, probably the only thing that they're going to charge me for is that light bulb. That's the only thing that they're going to charge me for. Storm Chaser is saying, because I found your channel, my light bill has been down. No, still working to get it lower. It can get lower. It can get lower. However, sometimes the lower that it gets, it's going to need gadgets. It's going to need some gadgets or some devices to get this thing lower. My aim, Storm, is to be 100% off the grid. Thank you, Beto. Um, my aim is that to be 100% off the grid, and I will be off the grid, but not in terms of the battery. I don't have the funds to purchase the batteries that I would really want. I don't have that amount of money. So I have to seek alternative methods to achieve that. Storm is saying, yes, I'm working on the device. You have to try and get these devices. It makes it easier. It doesn't make it frustrating or cumbersome. Because like for me, I know that where my computer is, I could not, each time I'm to use it, plug it in, plug it out. So I have to come up with some devices are not come with. I have to purchase these devices to assist with that. And that's the issue. That's the issue I'm having, where I have to come up with these things to just assist me. Now, in terms of assistance, I think my assistants know I need some additional things because being grid tied, I've always been telling you the downside to being on a grid tied system is that you lose electricity. One of the thing is when I lose electricity, it means a whole different ball game over here because I don't have the internet. And just imagine when you don't have the internet, it's like you're frustrated. You have nothing to do. Yes, we should not allow the internet to take up our time like that, but it honestly create that level of frustration because there are things that you may want to research, there are things that you may want to do, you may want to pay a bill. You can't do it when you don't have electricity. And strangely, you may not have electricity. However, your internet service provider is still sending that signal here. So if it was a case where I had my system, my internet system, if I had my internet system on a standalone system in itself where I always have that power going to it, then it probably would mean that sometimes when persons are out of electricity, I do have it myself. I do have it. Um, Beetle. Beetle is speaking about 110 and 220 at my home. So let's see. Beetle is saying, in your home smart, see, I know I have 120. If I have 127 or 220, I have both. I have both. I have both of them. I do have both of them. My 110, my 110 is for my plugs, and my 220 is for my solar. So I have both, two of them. And the 220 would run or air condition here if I had the air condition. So we use both in Jamaica. I can't tell you what percentage of the homes here have both or only one. I can't, but 110 is our main. Right, 110 is our main. We got the 110 with the houses. So 110 is our main. We have to apply. We have to apply for the 220. Yeah, we have to apply for the 220. Um, so the 110 volt is our main source, while the 220 volts has to be applied for. And people, if you're listening, please remember, if you're planning to go solar in your town, it can't run on 110. It can't. You have to apply for the 220, and that's a whole different ball game with the power company. It's like you're applying all over again. So the 110 volt, like I say, is our main. That is what comes into us. And to get the 220, we have to apply for it. Bruno Storm is saying that that's good, my friend. Your friend channel is being of great help. I hope this situation can improve more and more. I do hope too. I honestly do hope, but we have a nation of persons who they don't react unless faced with the problem. That's it. They don't react unless they are faced with the problem. Um, so on top of we having this level of bill that facing us, the things that we can do to alleviate all of this is to, I don't want to stress conservation alone, is let's see if we can go solar. And I've told you before that Solar doesn't have to be you just start like that. You can go incrementally. You can. There are some bulbs that can be charged by the sun. There are things around the house that you can take off. Vita said yes. Vita said yes. Vita spoke English and said yes. Um, there are things that we can do to gradually come off the grid. So it might be you buy some solar lights. I have solar lights right around. I have not used my outdoor light for years. I haven't because I buy and install solar lights around the house. There are two different set of solar lights. There are the one at the front that I would use for decoration, while the one at the back is for security. I even have a solar light on the roof itself. It's motion censored. So whenever the something should pass it, then it's going to light up. It's a form of security to know if anyone is up there as well. So it helps. So you don't only have to wait on the big solar panels to decide that you're going solar. Do so incrementally. It will help. It will help. The other aspect of it too is even with our washing or even with our how we do things at home, we can probably conserve a little more in terms of by not leaving. Vito had said it, where he said not leaving the things plugged in. Yeah, that helps because phantom electricity is no joke. I can tell you it's not a laughing matter with the phantom electricity. And at that point, that's where the frustration kick in, when persons say, I did not use it. They didn't use it. But the appliances that they left plug in, it used it. So you have to pay for it in that instance. Um, so while that is not a laughing matter, we have to look on it in terms of um, conservation. So we have to conserve, and that's the only way we're going to bring down these bills. Yeah, they might get away with charging us the extra for fuel. However, we can't stop. We can't give up. We can't give up. I would love for one day when I look on my bill, I'm only paying that $500, and I'll get there. I will get there because I probably have the camera system on the power company, and the reason for that is that my camera system has to operate for 24 hours a day. I have to be able to see what is happening around me. I have to be able to see what is happening when I'm not here, especially when I'm not here. So it has to operate for 24 hours. My fridge don't operate for 24 hours. My fridge shuts down at a certain time. It's only really the camera system and the internet because I need the internet as well to to be able to see what is happening here when I'm not here. So those are the two things that runs 24 hours a day. Other than that, I don't have everything on the 24 hours. I don't. So those are the two things. And if I can pull those two things off, then I'm fine. I'm really fine. But in the interim, taking those two things off is a hassle without me having something that is going to power them for the 24 hours because I can't do without it. I can't. As much as I'm trying to cut my reliance on the internet service providers, I have some things that relies on them, and I can't do without them. I honestly can't. I try to reduce my reliance on them by not getting some devices like having a door lock. I don't have a door. lock that needs the internet. I'm changing my door lock, by the way. However, I stay clear from the one that uses the internet. And I don't have, what else I don't have? I don't have an Alexa. It's not that I honestly wouldn't want an Alexa. However, I think the reliance on the internet where the Alexa is concerned is too much. And I'm not out of company where I would want something to talk to me. I'm not out of company like that. I would rather sit alone sometimes and just enjoy myself. Plug my ears and I'm enjoying myself. I don't need Alexa for me to enjoy myself. Um, Storm is asking if anything on the internet is for free. I'm not understanding you. What you mean by if anything on the internet is for free? Like what? You can get free things on the internet, but it probably comes with spams. So like what? You mean something to free things to conserve? I'm not understanding you, Storm. Free internet? Storm? No, no. I'm sorry. No. I think I heard the government spoke of you being able to access the internet when you go to certain places. However, I've not seen that as yet. I I heard that it has started in some areas. I've not seen it in mine. I don't think it will ever reach my area because it means anything that is free is going to have a lot of crowd coming on it. So I've not heard that. I've not heard of that being free. I know if I should continue this conservation journey, then at some point I may be asked to probably showcase or review an item, which I would love to. If I get items like that, I think I will pass them on, test them, and pass them on to my subscribers to use. Worse if I have one already. Hi, good night. I do speak English, and I'm thanking you for that hug. It means that we are we share subscriptions. I'm fine. I'm fine. And how are you? Thank you for speaking English to me. Um, yes. So in terms of the freeness, that's the only thing I'm seeing. Oh, you're fine. That's good. So in terms of the freeness, that's what I'm seeing. Where that's the only thing you can get free. If you probably have a channel, then some persons might, or some entities might decide to give you certain things to review, and you can decide what you want to do with them. Either you keep them or you give them away. For me, if it's something that I already have, I don't want to keep it. It's a waste putting things down and you're not using it. It honestly is a waste. Um, Away from that, Storm, I'm not knowing if the internet is free where you are. I know where I am, it's not free. It really is not free. Another thing too, in terms of conservation, is other than plugging out, we need to be vigilant. We need to also create buy-in. You need to get your family members on board. Get them on board. Allow them to work with you. You can't do it alone. Like they say, no man is an island. You can't do it alone. You need the assistance of persons in your household or even family members. You need their assistance. You need for them to work with you. If they're working against you, it honestly makes your job harder. There are some families out there, or some members of families out there, who they don't believe that this thing works. However, my encouragement to you is to not only tell them that it worked, but ask them to give you a month where both yourself and as well as them aggressively tackle this conservation issue. So try that. And if after the month you can compare the bills, the last month bill with this month bill, and then you'll see that it does work. Um, Thank you for being on my live. Is there any more question? It worked for you. What worked for you, Storm? The fact that persons work with you in your household, or the fact that you're conserving? Because based on what you are telling me, you still need to conserve some more. You still might need to conserve some more, and it will work. What worked for you? The buy-in where you have persons in in your household working with you. Is that it? Yes or no? Oh, the conserving. Okay, fine. It does work. However, it's when the bill come and you look on the dollar value. That's the frustrating part. All right, guys, it's 7:01, and I'm going to close the live. I'm going to end the stream. I would like to thank you for joining the live stream, and wherever your family also work with you. Good. Wherever you are in the world, because we have persons from all over here today. So wherever you are in the world, my encouragement to you is please don't let conservation be a burden. And good night or good evening wherever you are, or good morning wherever you are. And thank you for joining the live stream. I'm out.